What's up everyone? Welcome to another video where I have my wisdom teeth extracted, so I'll be pretty much mumbling throughout the video. Hopefully you guys can understand me. If not, at least it's funny, right? So today we're going to be talking about a lose-lose situation. Now, what is a lose-lose situation? Basically, there's three situations one can have: a win-win situation, a lose-lose situation, and a win-lose situation. Are there really three? No, but to simplify things, those are the main categories for a certain amount of situations. Typically, for a lose-lose situation, as by the definition, it's something where both parties lose, or no matter what you do, of the two choices you have, you lose out. You are worse off than you are before. Just to give you guys a little example, to pull off the top of my head, I'm going to use social media. For instance, if you're on Instagram or Vine, you have the option of creating accounts and following people and watching their short clips or photos as they are uploaded. Here's what happens in a lose-lose situation. Let's say you are a Vine channel that specializes in something called follow back and revine. Basically what this means is you will follow back anyone who follows you, thus gaining a larger following for yourself and helping out others, while at the same time you revine everyone's, at least one of everyone who follows you. Therefore it's more promotion, and therefore people are even more inclined to follow you. Here's a lose-lose situation that can occur in such a social media platform. And again, you can apply this to other social media platforms, but this one specifically for Vine. If you choose to revine one of every person you follow's vines, what ends up happening is you get a huge flood of vines on your stream, and people will start complaining. Your followers will start complaining, hey, I followed you so you can follow me back, and now you're revining one of my posts, but you're revining everyone. So it's just this infinite stream of hundreds of vines every day. It's pretty much useless revining my stuff anyways. Please stop revining everyone to be more selective. But then, when you choose to just revine one thing, then other people will get mad. They're like, hey, I followed you and you promised to revine as well, and you're only revining a couple of these people. So that's the big idea. It's like either, no matter what choice you choose, you lose out. Have I created one of these channels? No. Have I observed something similar? Seen a follow back thing. I've never seen a revine thing, but I just pulled it out of the top of my head. I'm sure someone's done it out there. But the basic point is that, hey, you want to avoid a lose-lose situation. Why? Because it just sucks when both parties lose out, or you lose out no matter what. Now obviously there are situations like this, and obviously this situation can be applied to everything throughout life. I'm sure you've had lose-lose situations with your parents or your family or loved ones, when it seems like no matter what action you take, they're going to get mad. Perhaps it's just in their nature, their emotional human nature. Some people, they don't think, humans naturally don't naturally think on a rational perspective. They don't just freeze the scenario and then objectively look at it from a third person perspective. Most people, male or female, are influenced by their emotions, and which causes them to do stupid, bizarre things and then backwards rationalize as to why they do it, or completely forget about it, or not even realize that what they did was illogical. So what you want to do is avoid lose-lose situations if you can't, and make it into the win-win situation. A win-lose is like if one party wins out slightly and one party loses out. A win-win situation is something that's great for both parties and almost awesome for you. Will Smith always does this, and he's a big proponent of optimism and win-win situations. When he was filming The Karate Kid with his son, he was just describing everything as a win-win-win-win-win-win-win situation. From him getting to visit a great country and understand a new culture and film a new movie with his son, he just makes everything into a win-win-win situation. So if you want to be as good as Will Smith, you got to start thinking like that. He's always positive, always tries to think of things as the glass is half full. And one of the books he recommends is called The Alchemist. And he says the whole theme that really stuck with him after reading that was this whole idea of turning lead into gold, which he applied to life. And he equated to turning lemons into lemonade. He said throughout life, everything he did, he turned crappy scenarios, shitty scenarios, horrible scenarios into great scenarios. So you can do the same thing, and I've applied it to my own life, and what I found is, it's very tough to do that. If you're in a crappy situation, it's very easy to blame or whine, but if you can say, hey, how can I turn this into a great scenario or something that's useful? Let's say you get lost, or you're late, or you miss an appointment, and let's say you traveled 40 minutes to get to the place. Well, this sort of stuff has happened to me before, and I'm like, well, I'm in a new place, let's just explore the area, or let's just do what I can. And I've done this before, and I ended up finding a really cool secondhand bookstore, which I bought some books that are probably going to be useful in my future for a very discounted price. Was it the most amazing thing ever? No, but you never know how amazing certain investments in your life can be in the future. Anyhow, back on track to the whole point. On top of this, there are lose-lose situations where you cannot escape from, and you're pretty much screwed. You can't turn it into a win-win, or it's very hard, or at best it could be a win-lose. One party loses out, or you're just in a situation where it's very difficult. First off, I do think that most of these 99% can be turned into a much better situation, even a win-win, if you just stop making excuses and start really thinking about things. It's like, what could you have done differently? Perhaps you couldn't have changed anything else about other people or the environment, but there's one certain thing that you can change, and that's yourself, how you react, how you behave, and your actions. And I know it's very tough, and I'm someone who's still working on it, but there are plenty of times out there where it's so much easier to say, well, that person did all this stuff wrong, and he could have done all this stuff better. He's at fault. When in reality, if you look at it from an objective view, sure, he did a lot of stuff wrong. He was probably worse than you, but you weren't perfect yourself. You did a lot of stuff wrong yourself. Why not work on that instead of trying to go